Shake a Puddin dessert mix from Royal. Kids make it themselves. Add water, powder, and shake, shake, shake a puddin', 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 shake a puddin'. Real fun, real puddin'. And here's how you wash the dishes. Shake, shake, shake a puddin'.
What a crazy way to make a snack.
I'm back. Back to Sundays. We'll probably be sticking with Sundays because looks like a lot more people can be here for Sundays. Hey, Global Pop Culture, thanks for stopping by. And that commercial I just played, when they say and it's easy to do the dishes, it was because they threw the cups in the trash. So that's the way we did all the dishes back in the day. When I was a kid, yeah, we ate off of paper plates all the time, which made for a lot less dishes. Maybe for dinner we ate on. No, I don't even remember when we ate on real plates. My mom is probably watching, and she'll probably tell me when we ate on real plates. But today we're doing desserts. In the promo thing, I said we were doing ice cream and desserts. Because of the amount of stuff that I dug out, we're just gonna do desserts. And when I say desserts, I mean mainly Jello related stuff. And like stuff that you're cooking and you're making a sweet dessert, but you're not baking. So you usually do it on the stovetop, or you do an instant pudding kind of thing. I'm just looking at all this stuff, and it's all either stovetop or puddings or pudding related or Jellos, gelatin related. So it's using the pectin and whatnot to create some sort of sweet dessert. And then I have a couple little pie things and a couple other odd things. But the king of all that is Jello. I don't intentionally collect Jello. I never really sat down and said, okay, I'm gonna be the Jello guy. But through the course of a few things, including there's my mom. Yeah, mom says we did not eat off real plates too often. Probably Thanksgiving. Jason got in some printer somewhere and got this big collection of Jello proofs, which we'll look at in 1 second. We're going to start with Jello just because that's sort of where is the big one. And when I really looked, I had a big Jello collection. And Jello's not really super my thing, but this is an early one. And this one's kind of fun because you can see it's written in there in pencil what year it was from. And this was a really weird collection that was all dusty and grimy, and some of the stuff was really gross. But in a lot of cases, the person wrote the dates on them. So this is a 1958 Jello box, and I don't have a lot of 50s stuff, so it's kind of nice to have this one. And you can see it's really simple, but we're already getting to full color process. We've got the red, the green, the blue, the yellow. So everything's going on this box, and this one's in pretty nice shape. So as I said, Jason got into this big collection of stuff, which early 70s batch from a General Foods employees files, and it's just like it's a really good look at like the whole brand: wild raspberry, wild cherry, wild strawberry, and these are new. Banana strawberry, which always sounds so delicious to me. The mixed fruit, which that is a gorgeous painting. And that's the thing about a lot of these boxes is, it's not the most dynamic, exciting box, but you slap a gorgeous painting on the front of a box like that. And these boxes were really iconic because they pretty much were this same sort of look, because Jello really dominated the sphere. The sphere of, dessert mixes that you make on the stovetop. Black raspberry. Lemon. I don't think we ever bought lemon Jello as kids, but man, yeah, lemon Jello. And that picture it gets me excited. And I think that's what packaging is all about. It's a really simple packaging. That Jello logo looking at all these, stayed pretty consistent throughout the years. Maybe they would vary the line width a little, but it was pretty consistent. And they were always pitching recipes, because Jello goes back. I don't know. I probably should start doing research for this show, which of course I terribly don't do. But Jello goes back to the 50s and the 40s, and it was a product that really the Jello company. Oh, these ones are all dated, and these ones dated in pencil on the back. 71. So that's super useful. Raspberry. Cherry. Lime. And lime is the last one of those. And so, you get a really good, when you get to see this, you can see this is what, oh, look at this. This is interesting. On these boxes, they're printing on white. I don't know why that is. You get like a nice group of these, and you can really see, they're bringing out these wild raspberries because they had shelf space to fill. And that's the key to everything. Now, these ones are really interesting because they're kind of strange design. They're sort of these big vertical boxes. I have a few more Jello pudding boxes, but these are pudding and pie filling. And so this is pre-instant, instant, which is disgusting. And this is like a milk chocolate. Oh, these stuck together. These ones do not have a date on the back. The vanilla, my favorite. Just the chocolate. And a banana cream. And so once again, these were, Jello started in 1897. The guy who invented Pop Rocks at General Food was the guy who created Quick Set Jello. Okay. It's all part of a recipe thing. So it is a cooking thing. Although not baking. So those are some pudding and pie filling. Oh wait, they got the stamp on them, 1970. So this is how we were doing, or how they were doing, the classic pudding and pie filling. If we kind of jump over here really quick, oh yeah, these ones were also part of that find. These ones are the instant puddings, and instant pudding. Is you don't have to cook it up. You just pour 3 cups of cold milk in a bowl and add the mix, and then beat it with a mixer for about 2 minutes, and boom, you're going to have it. So there's some sort of, I don't know what the active ingredient is. Sugar, dextrose, food starch, sodium phosphates. So maybe it's a starch thing. Maybe it's a starch reaction. And these ones we can see 1971, written in pencil. So we got lemon. And so these ones are a little more, you got a lemon, which is a little more, a little sweeter. Banana cream. And the vanilla. So those were the 4 for that. I also have another, this is a lemon pudding and pie filling box, probably from a little later. And this one, you can see we're increasing the design a little bit. This little logo is actually really nice. It's a little fancy, And like this is a UPC. These are pre-UPC, so this one's probably 75. How much is it? 29 cents. So it's still. Oh, there's a recipe offer in here, which does not look like it. And I mean, that's this is what I love in a box. Inside, there's a coupon for mailing away for the recipe book. Plus, there's, it's hard to do this. There's a cutout recipe card. So they would do a lot of work like that. Oh, and here's another one. This is a coconut cream, 17 cents. And that was the thing, is these were inexpensive desserts that you could get for the kids, make for the family, and really do good stuff. Boom. Got the spoon. And we're not going to talk about Bill Cosby and his sort of affiliation with Jello pudding pops. Jason just posted a thing on his Instagram with some rebuilds of the Jello pudding pops. Which do I own any? I do not own any recipe books. I like the packaging. I don't sort of go into later. I don't collect sort of peripherally stuff like that, just because you can fill your life with that. This one's a little earlier one. This is a '60s box, which is cool. And fresh fruit taste lime. Another obscure flavor, orange pineapple. Now, at one point, I found a person who had just all these little box fronts. They just cut out and saved all these cool little box fronts. And so these are some of my earliest Jello stuff I ever collected. And so when Jason got all those boxes, I was like, oh, I would like those. Just because this was the main portion of my collection, was just these little cards. But just these cards alone, really, you can sort of look at how we've added that sort of blue line along the bottom. Looks like maybe we've tightened up the lettering. Yeah, but it's that same painting. 2 cents off. And that was the thing, is the kids, a new size. The kids were usually not the motivating factor on these things. The mom was. Mom bought the Jello. Kids didn't run into the store and say, oh my God, Jello, Jello, Jello. This stuff wasn't pitched to them. Ugh, wouldn't you just kill for that line painting? I would love that painting. It's one thing I have, which is really nice, is this, it's a merchandiser's, it's like a book for grocery store, not workers, but the people that work at the produce department at the grocery store. It was a book of all the different vegetables that they could sort of order. And it has all these beautiful, beautiful paintings in it. And I just love, I'm a commercial art freak. And if you could actually ever find these kind of things, oh my God, it would just be wonderful. 4 cents off. So those are that's a decent amount of, well, that's most of my straight up Jello box collection. But the other thing that Jason had in there was not this one, but Desserta boxes, which is a low calorie gelatin dessert. And so it's interesting. This one says only 8 calories per serving. I don't know if this one has cyclamates in it. What are we? Gelatin, fulmaric acid, saccharin. Okay, so this is the beginning of the saccharin. And then these are the mint flat ones he found, which, as you can see, it says no cyclamates, because cyclamates were found to cause cancer. And so it became a whole big thing of getting rid of the cyclamates. And, these ones, it's really interesting how with diet products, they kind of go into a different mode. They sort of lighten things up and make things, I don't know, it's just the lettering is thinner. It's not as busy, maybe. There's more information. If you're going to buy a diet product, you want a lot of information. This one's really pretty. Raspberry with that really pale purple. And you can see 1970. And it's always wonderful when someone, look at how pale this box is. You look at the other ones, wild, new, blah, 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 pink, blue. This one's like pale greens. You're going on a diet. It's going to be okay. And, there's usually not that much exciting on the back of a gelatin box, except, a bunch of instructions and what to do and how to best make this product work for you. So a few more Jello boxes. These ones are probably a little later, and these ones came probably from a refunder. And at one point, I had a guy who was shooting a movie or something, and he wanted some props, and so I built these guys up, and I just used a little bit of hot glue, and I haven't ever unbuilt them. So they've been sort of sitting around. 21 cents. Yeah, actually, well, they got UPCs. These are probably like from 75, and you can still see they have some of the hot glue gun glue sort of floating around. But these guys have been sort of floating around in my stuff. Still built up. I probably should. I mainly just sell those and get rid of them because I have nicer examples that are those beautiful flats. And then here's an instant pudding and pie filling. Jello. Vanilla. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. I think that's most of the specifically Jello boxes. So one of Jello's competitors was Royal. I do not ever remember Royal from when I was a kid. This is an earlier box. This is probably a 60s box. Once again, not a thing I really intended to collect, but at a certain point, when I was dealing with these refunders, they bought Royal Gelatin. Royal Gelatin must have done refund offers and must have been maybe a little bit of a lower rent product. Maybe it was a little cheaper. You know, you'd go in there and the Royal would be 2 cents cheaper or something. Because the refunders would have tons and tons and tons of Royal, like multiple refunders that I dealt with had Royal stuff, and I had, you know, like a stack this big of these kind of boxes, and I just went through at some point and just got it down to like one of each flavor for the most part, because these boxes are pretty uninteresting, except they have King Royal, which I don't think I have a King Royal figure anymore. They made a figural bank of him, made a big nice figural bank of him, which is one of the few premium items that I don't think I've ever seen how you got that damn thing. So I've always been looking for the box that had you flipped over and there was like, order your King Royal Bank. I have not seen it. I've not seen a newspaper ad. I've not seen a coupon. I've not seen a box. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm sure someone's going to point out, oh, Dan, you have seen it and you've forgotten. But at least back in the day, if I've seen it, it's been in the last couple years, and then somehow my memory exploded and lemon. And once again, you know, it's like, I don't know if that's art or if that's a photo. I don't know. It's always interesting to sort of try and suss out what's an actual photo. But I love the King Royal character, and if I ever did find the way you could get that damn bank, I would love it. You know, nothing going on the backs. And these are all probably mid 70s, mid to late 70s, maybe early 80s. It's 38 cents, so these ones are a little later probably. Might even be up into the 80s. I would not be entirely surprised. Cherry, and there's a couple different sizes, and then some puddings, because the king liked his pudding. This one's an interesting pistachio, and the refunder I got had tons of these pistachios, which I guess somebody likes that. And other kind of fun thing they had was these instant pudding and pie and gelatin boxes, pistachio, with a black hole offer. And Black Hole was a very terrible Disney live-action movie, which kind of was like Disney's Star Wars. This is 1972 spirit. There is a 1972 newspaper ad for the King Royal Bank and King Royal washcloth. I have never seen that. I would love to see that. Groovy Archives, if you could post that, if you have it, please post it on your Instagram. I believe you have an Instagram. I think that's how we sort of talk to each other or see each other. I would love to see that, because I've never seen it, and see, that's why you put it out there in the world, because there's somebody out there that's seen just about everything. But they did Black Hole, they did posters, and they also did a puzzle, and maybe they did. I think they had 2 different sizes of these boxes, so there were 2 different puzzles and 2 different posters. So, and like the posters were on the pudding mix, and the puzzles were on the gelatin mix. So there's 4 of these, and I kept one. I didn't need all 4 of those. So the other really interesting Royal thing is Royal did a big promotion with Disneykins. So they did an initial one where it was just all the Disneykins, and then they did Jungle Book. They also had a special box with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which I had at one point, which is kind of interesting because the back it has Snow White and all 7 dwarfs. It's really cute. But they did a long time. So it's like a 60s box, and on the back they would have these little panels. And this must have been like literally the worst promotion ever to fulfill, because each box has a different set of characters, and I'll go through a bunch of them. And it just must have been a nightmare for the people doing fulfillment, because the kids would, I wanted Pinocchio and Brer Rabbit and Pecos Bill, but they sent me, the Ringmaster and Figaro and what's his name? Monty, which is like, I don't know, it's Mickey's cousin or something, some terrible character. So each box has different characters, and I think some boxes have there's like maybe multiple boxes with Donald Duck. I don't know. I don't remember. I've never kept track of the whole thing, but Bambi and Thumper and Goofy and Pluto. And does it say how many there were? You get the 3. I have some ads somewhere that sort of talk a little bit more about all the characters. But this, because we have 2 Brer Rabbits, right? Yeah, we had Brer Rabbit on one of the other ones. Yeah, Brer Rabbit's on this one and on this one. So some characters were multiple ones, which I'm sure they just, had like, this is set A, this is set F. They just set them all out. But still, all that work to send some stupid little figures, which some kid really loved. So it's really nice because they cover a lot of, like I said, they cover a lot of strange characters, Brer Rabbit, Joe Carioca, and Panchito. And I was into Brer Rabbit for a little while because I'm weird. No more Brer Rabbit. Oh, did they cut Brer Rabbit from Splash Mountain because he was too adjacent to Uncle Remus and the Tar Baby and all that? You understand why some things need to go, and I'm sure some of what is happening now is a bit of an overreaction, because you can't get rid of every, are we going to get rid of every movie that had a racist in it? Because they say John Wayne was a huge racist. Are we gonna get rid of that? Monty and Ferdy Field Mouse were Mickey's twin cousins. Ugh. It's like the rerun character in the Peanut strips. It's just like, ooh, twin nephews. Oh, not cousins, nephews. Ugh, gross. Like these weird characters. And so when the Jungle Book came out in 67, 68, I think it says 67, they did a few boxes with the Jungle Book ones. And these I really love. These are cool, because Jungle Book was one of my very earliest childhood Disney movies. The bare necessities, forget about your troubles and your strife. Good songs in that movie. And that's the thing. Disney has so much great stuff and so much garbage. Some of the stuff's absolutely amazing, and then some of it's like absolutely terrible. Jungle Book, in my opinion, is pretty amazing. So and it's a fun set. I think there's Baby Elephant also. Oh no, there's Baby Elephant. There's Mowgli also. They did a Mowgli. I think it's like 7 or 8 figures. Really fun figures. At one point, I had a bag of like 25 or 30 Bagheeras. Just Bagheeras. Only Bagheeras. You figure it out. Let's step back in the time machine real quick. We'll look at a few older boxes. And some of this stuff I did in another one of the early videos, but since these newer videos are sort of trying to, cover a whole section of things, I want to sort of do them again. If you've already seen this stuff, well, you're going to have to look at it again. These nice sparkle ones. I love this little kid. He is such a freaky looking little kid with his big sort of, thumb-shaped head, his tongue sticking out. The girl, not as exciting, but together, Sparkle's pretty fun. And that's an Ann Page, which is, I don't know Aunt Paige either. I think it maybe is a little more of a back east thing. And these ones are really nice because they have characters. Weird Raspberry, Weird Cherry Guys. Oh, they're turning Brer Rabbit into Frog Prince. Well, that's cool. 3-color signal flashlight. Yeah, so things are gonna get canceled out, and then they'll come back and they'll redo them and make the money again. This is a Red Owl Store cherry gel gelatin dessert. Double front. Sometimes they do that. They make the front and the back exactly the same. And then now let's look at our boy, Mr. Wiggle. Yay, Mr. Wiggle. I didn't pull out the ads for Mr. Wiggle. I guess I didn't pull out the cell. I have a cell for him. We'll look at that when we do cells. But they did these great puppets, which were they weren't on the boxes. They're available through newspaper ads and probably some in-store stuff. It's very typical that they would do things like this. But they did these puppets, which I am still of the belief that the Mr. Wiggle puppet is probably one of the nicest one of the nicest advertising figures. I've been watching DK Econ all weekend, so I got action figures on the brain. One of the greatest advertising figures ever. And I remember when I first saw the ad, I was like, "Oh my God, I have to have this thing." And I, they were like $300 at the time, and I was all over, and I think I found this one for $100 or $150. I think I got it from Robert Bruce back in his heyday of being one of the kings of toys. And it's just such a nice figure. It's the sculpt is great, the design is great. It's a puppet. It's made out of the right material, so he's wiggly and just oh. And then his enemy was Sweet Tooth Sam, which they must have made commercial. I have the animation cell, and I think I played the commercial at one point. I don't know. Sweet Tooth Sam, just great. And it's kind of amazing, to actually do two very different puppets. This is just vinyl head, cloth body. This one's full vinyl. Really neat that you would they'd actually go to the trouble of doing all that. And then we have the Mr. Wiggle boxes. Now, Mr. Wiggle boxes are amazing, and I remember back when I was looking for them, I wanted them bad. And there was a quantity of like a couple. I don't remember which ones it was. It was I think the red ones. I think it was maybe 2 of the red ones were found in some small quantity. I think it was these 2. I think it was the strawberry and the cherry. And so they were kind of out there. They'd be like $75, $100, I guess. I don't even remember. So a lot of people. Oh no, it was the grape. The grape one was available for sure. And so people would have them with their Mr. Wiggles. Collectors, advertising collectors would have their Mr. Wiggle set up, and they'd have a box or 2 in front of it. I remember Jim Maley having them, and I quickly acquired those 2. But I wanted them all, of course, because they're Mr. Wiggle, and this was the primary thing I was looking for, is obscure characters that were on weird food products. So it's like, I like the cereal's fine, but if it was on some other kid's product and from 1966, that's what I was looking for. So at one point, Scott Bruce contacts me, or I contacted him, and he's like, "Oh, I bought all this stuff, and I've got a full set of the Mr. Wiggles boxes signed by the creator, Bob Travers." He's like, "Would you be interested in those?" I'm like, "Yes, please." And because he wrote on here, situation creator and illustrator plus package design. So Travers did these, and Travers was the guy that did had the company that did all the post art that I showed in the post cereal episode. And so Scott had hooked up with him through looking for cereal stuff, and Scott didn't care about this because Scott only cared about cereal. So I got these, and the guy was really proud. He signed each of the 6 boxes, and in all the other stuff, he didn't sign anything. So I think he must have been really, really proud of Mr. Wiggle, and for good reason, because Mr. Wiggle is just one of the best characters ever designed. He's got a Buster Keaton thing going on with the hat. He's got the bow tie. We got the illustrations with the fruit, and just the black line is used really sparingly, and so he actually is not outlined, and so it gives him the wiggle, which I think we looked at that cell at one point. Maybe I'll grab it real quick in a second here, and then. The last 2, the candy corn orange and the candy ball cherry. Do they all? So it's like jelly bean strawberry, candy ball cherry, candy corn orange, gumdrop grape, rock candy raspberry, and lollipop. Do we already have a lollipop? No, lollipop lime. So they're all sort of trading on sugary dessert things, which I think is just, I think that's just wonderful. I'm gonna grab that cell really quick. Because I know, amazingly, I know right where it is, which is not always the case with me. I don't always know where everything's. I don't know why I'm wearing these headphones. I probably shouldn't even wear these headphones because I can't hear anything. Are they full boxes? None of mine are full, but the ones that they found were all full. So there are full ones out there. These ones, I kept all the ones that he signed because those were his. And sadly, my stuff was stored. I had it stored in a storage unit at one point at the place where I worked. And mice or something got in there, and they took a tiny nibble off the piece of this box, little bastards. So here's the cell. And as you can see, they did it so that if you look really, oh no, I should take that. There's multiple layers of Mr. Wiggle. So there'd be multiple clear layers of him, and so as he moved, he would go. So it's just really a wonderful design. So cool. And you can see here's see the different levels. I have the fan on, so it's blowing this a little bit. We're working on the eyes, and the eyes are sort of jiggling, and the Jello is sort of jiggling, and so that's Mr. Wiggle. And it is a Jello product. Why did it live or die? Maybe Jim Rash can tell us why it lived or died. I don't know. I don't think it was a product that lived long. The newspaper ads, I think, ran for maybe 2 years, and then disappeared. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for Mr. Wiggle. I'm not going to waffle over a beautiful cell. I've got one of Sweet Tooth Sam. Oh my God, I have never seen that. That sounds amazing. Sweet Tooth Sam cell. Yes, please. Please share that with us at some point. Waffle Whiffer. Yeah, none of these are full. They were all empty, and he must have emptied them out because they're store boxes. They have prices on them. So he bought them in the store and took them home and saved them because he was the creator. And that's really cool. And someone asked a while ago during one of the shows, do we know any of the people that did this stuff? In a few cases we do. Not in a lot of cases, but in a few cases we do. So let's look at another really cool product, which I remember from being a kid, and that is Jello spoon candy. And I think it had another name too. I think it was also called Magic Top or something, Magic Spoon, or yes. But what this product was is it was a gelatin. It was a Jello product, like not Jello, but a instant Jello pudding kind of thing, and then you'd make it, and then there was the topping. So you'd make the filling, and then you put it into 4, 6, 8 dishes, and then the topping you would sort of squeeze and get warm, right? Hold pouch under lukewarm water, kneading gently for 30 seconds, and then you would squirt it out there, and then it would form a little chocolate shell, kind of like a dipped ice cream cone. And it was good. It had a really, I think there was this is the vanilla. I think there was a peanut butter one. Maybe it was 3 or 4 flavors. And just, they're probably the most chemically disgusting flavors ever, but they were great. The cool thing is, I still got the topping. There it is. Still in the pouch. And someone was just asking me today, should you throw out the product on this stuff? And I always say, absolutely throw it out. But this is sealed in metal. This is a foil package. And it's this is one of my favorite childhood desserts. So I'm not throwing this away. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe, it looks, I think I found this full, so I think maybe I had the pudding part too, but maybe something happened to the pudding part because I just have that part left. But there is another name for this one. If someone else out there remembers it, let me know. But once again, a product, when I started looking, this was a product I really wanted to find a box of. Found one. I think I might have found, maybe I found 2 and traded or sold one. I don't remember, but I found at least one. Found one. So let's look at a couple more really interesting Pillsbury products. This one's called Something Different, which is a new freezer dessert mix. And these are, once again, it's a sort of gelatin product that you then sort of put over put on a sort of, what's it called, a graham cracker crust. So you just do that, you blend cold milk, medium speed. So it's basically, most of these things are all pretty much the same, They're an instant pudding or a gelatin, and then you sort of slap it in there, and then, it goes over a thing. This one's creamy pineapple. Pretty weird. And then they also made chocolatey chill, which, as you can see, we got the snowman here, snowman there. It's pretty much the same exact product. But instead, this one it's graham cracker crumb crust. This one's just a chocolate, and I love me a graham cracker crust. This box is really interesting because the instructions are a sticker. So in other words, they messed up the instructions and then had to go back and re-sticker all these boxes to make them work. This one has some little balloons on there. And this one, I think this one might have been full too, and I might have thrown that product out just because maybe it was gross or something. I don't remember. Because most of the times you want to throw the product out because the product is bad. One other really fun gelatin thing is this nice little Knox box, or Knox unflavored gelatin box. And it has the recipe for Knox blocks, which, if you were a kid, you love Knox blocks because they're the exact same thing you've already had, but different. And so it's nice to, talk about obscure. This probably was saved because it has, sort of the recipe information. And I still remember as a kid, the first time I made Knox blocks, and it was just like, oh my God, the world has changed. Royal Shake-It Pudding. So Royal, we looked at all those other Royals. Royal came up with Shake-It Pudding, which was the commercial I ran right at the beginning. Shake-It Pudding is a really interesting idea because it's basically just instant pudding, but it comes with everything you need. So in the box, you have all the necessary parts to do this. You have the mix, you have the cup, you have the lid, you have the spoon, boom, everything to make 4 of these things. All you gotta do is add milk. And when I started collecting, Shake-a-Pudding was another thing that people were really looking for very hard. And I don't remember where I got this one, but it's nice. It's got little stains on it. I found another front at one point, and then I found what is like sort of the holy grail of Shake-a-Puddings, which I think I showed in that other video, which is the Dr. Dolittle one. And as I think I showed in that other video, this one is full. So Dr. Dolittle came out, and they did these statues. They also did a dog food offer. Yeah, good going, Dr. Dolittle. You locked down Shake-a-Pudding, and you locked down Purina Dog Chow. But this had the little statues. And they must have sold a lot of these because the statues are maybe not common, but you can find them. So this box was full when I got it, and it's still full today. And it's great because it's got the lids. It's got the cups, which are super cool with like these graphics. It's got the pink sea snail in the correct color, pink. You know, that was the other thing, is I'm sure kids, you know, would get it and they get like the yellow pink sea snail. What the fudge? Sea snail should only be shot in pink. From the Krazy Kids Food book. Yes, this was in the Krazy Kids Food book. Spoons, 2 different colors. How great is that? How wonderful is that? It's so wonderful. And the packets. Stamped vanilla on the back, how to make. And I think I can show it with this box a little better. Does this box have it? Yeah. They have the Shake-a-Pudding song on this little flap. It's like, thank you for using every little bit of this box. It's like so great. As you can see, this one is it's got some crushing and has some issues. 49 cents. So, yeah. So that's like, this one's absolutely full, which is great. And should I be storing these in there? No, because I just told the person today you shouldn't store the food in there because of mice and vermin. But I'm lazy, and for the most part, I've thrown out all the other food. So that's sort of in my opinion, sort of holy grail of Dr. Dolittle collectibles is the Shake-a-Pudding. You know, you're probably not going to see another one of those. And then someone in the comments will be like, I just saw one of those on eBay. And I'll be like, well, I say a lot of words. You can listen to them, or you can not listen to them. Sliding all this stuff back into the box, where it can once again return to its safe home, never more to be looked at. Well, it'll be looked at again. Puddinhead. We got Puddinhead over here. And that was another thing when I started collecting, is Puddinhead shakers were everywhere. And I think these guys, you know, were like $25, $35. And there was an orange one and the brown one. Or he was orange with brown hair, brown with orange hair. I used to have both at some point, and I think I just got rid of one of them. Because I don't like keeping a lot of figural stuff. And at some point, I found the box. Is this dusty? It's dusty probably because it was on display for many, many years. 69 cents. New Shake 'em Up Pudding treat refill pack. So maybe the shaker maybe came shrink wrapped with a couple of them at one point. I'm pretty sure you could mail away for it too. Colgate Palmolive Company, 1966. Still one of the greatest years ever. Yeah, we would not have gotten the ice cream today. I can tell you that. We're at 10:44, and I still have a few things to do. And Puddinhead packs. Strawberry. This was chocolate. Did they make vanilla? Maybe someone can tell me if they made vanilla. I think I might have a chocolate somewhere. You know, like and this still has the stuff in it. Like with a lot of this stuff, I just want to have examples at this point, and so I don't keep track of having every single flavor. We've finished that box lid worth of stuff. We're going to look at Fruit Float real quick. Fruit Float is another weird confection. Just add milk, ready in seconds. It basically is a dessert where you would add fruit and milk. And so then it's basically just peach flavored instant gelatin. Or at least this one was peach flavored. So that's the peach, mandarin orange, banana, new flavor, raspberry, pineapple, peach, and some extra peaches. This person liked peach, and there's another bonus one, another mandarin one. And, this is the good looking one, I think. This is the raspberries. That's the pretty one. Those are the pretty colors. Those are pretty colors. So that's Fruit Float. Another, they're always just looking for some sort of new product. And this was in a can. What does it say? Empty contents and then add milk. Add to dessert mix all at once. Stir with a spoon. Dessert. Oh, does this have the fruit in it? Oh, this has the fruit in it. I never realized that. Because I never had the product. I never really looked at it. But you see, so it came in a can, so it had some fruit in there because you could seal up the can. And so you would just add milk. And so if you wanted to, you could put the raspberry on top, but you just add milk. You don't have to add fruit. I always thought this was an add fruit thing. So I learned something about something I've owned for 20 years. These ones are interesting because these are early. Yum Yum Pudding. Twin pack. So this is a really early, probably 30s pudding product. And I found all these cutout panels one time. And they're really, the art's really interesting. I mean, look at those bunnies. Those bunnies still look pretty contemporary. The kids look, very Vernon Grant. But I love them because they have a sort of fairy tale thing. And each one has its own little story. Chocolate flavored. Butterscotch. They're dressed as Irish people? Or Scottish? Scottish, I think. Butterscotch. Scottish people. Can't do that anymore. Ready mix for chocolate. Just as mushroom people. And then there were the back panels. So each one, I think I matched them up at one point. Wait, does it have 1938, Harry A. Chesler. So these are all from 1938. And so on the back of the boxes, you'd have a second illustration. Serves you right. Kind of weird. And then on the side panels that this person saved, they'd have these. Well, I declare, what have we there? It looks so simple to prepare. To you I say it. It's just like play. It's been prepared the yum yum way. And so it's all these different little sayings. so it just like those other Jello fronts, you never know when somebody's gonna kind of archive a whole existence. Zero dessert mix. Neat little snowman on there. That's why I kept that. Jello Deluxe Chocolate Collection. Double chocolate. And Jello did all sorts of box things. It is endless. There's like 1, 2, 3, which is a Jello that forms in layers. I used to have all sorts of them. Some quick pies. Morton caramel cream pie. These sort of fit more into the frozen food TV dinner world, but... And I think I've talked about this before, is a lot of this stuff came from this stuff would be saved because of appliance dealer stores where they would have this stuff to go into the appliances, to go into the freezers and the refrigerators to make it look like they were full. So that's where most of this stuff comes from. Quip is basically just ready whipped cream talking in a can. And I remember early on I saw an ad for Quip, and I was like, "Ooh, I want one of those." And then I found this, which is a proof that would have been wrapped around a can. I'm like, this is 10,000 times better than a can because you've got everything going on. And the interesting thing, I think it was Quip, is they still make Quip in India. I was doing a little research and maybe there was some on eBay or something. And I was like, what the heck? I think it was Quip. And I looked, and lo and behold, they make Quip in India. And you can if you go into a grocery store in India, and want whip topping, Quip is what you're gonna get. So he's still going strong. We're gonna finish with the snack packs. I posted some on Instagram. Once again, with snack packs, refunders liked snack packs. So I have a lot of snack packs. I have way too many snack packs for any one human being. And at one point I went through, I don't think I've ever heard about the whole, so you'll find with the appliance dealers, you'll find like, it's mostly frozen food. You'll find built-ups, and a lot of there'll be pies and TV dinners and things like that, and they'll be in perfect condition, but they were never in stores. There's no price tags, and a lot of times they'll be taped shut, and so you're like, what the hell? And so what it was, I remember when I was a kid, you'd go into the appliance dealer and boom, these refrigerators would be full of stuff. It's pretty cool. Snack packs. I at one point I went through all my snack packs and I figured out exactly what I kept one of each. Chocolate pudding. Here's the one with the horse. I think the horse was second. I think this is the first design. I think this is the second design with the weird horse, which is insane. And then the third design is Snack Pack Jack. And this is really the look I remember. And so you can see there's a fair amount of difference. These are all chocolate pudding. I'm going to try to do these in real good order. Because I think I have them still in order. And Snack Pack were great because they did all these Snack Pack Jack comics on the back. And I have Snack Pack. I have a few ads for him. And then we have... Why do I have two of these? These are chocolate fudge. So this is I think this is a little later. The free invisible ink. Invisible ink. Okay, this is chocolate fudge. And this is chocolate fudge. So this is a, child safe lid. Yeah, right. Everyone was talking about cutting themselves up on Instagram. And I mean, the Snack Pack Jack comics are just total Yellow Submarine, freaky stuff. Snack Pack Jack's Tall Tales. I should scan all these at some point. I probably never will. Oh, that's probably why I have multiples of these, because they're all different Snack Pack Jack backs. Probably kept all the different ones. This one I think is earlier. It's a USA Olympic thing. Selected reviews by USA Olympic. Here's a nice one with the horse. And in comparison to that, good looking. This is, I think this is like the last. You can see. Blah! We got tired of putting stuff on the back. And here's a Snack Pack Jack. He's not on the front, but we got that same weird fish comic on the back. Here he is on the front. Another Snack Pack Jack. Then we got this terrible kid. It's like, really, people? This is the kid? Ugh. Gross. No sharp edges, child safe lid. Still don't. What year did Snack Packs debut? Good question. as I've said many times, I am not the year guy. If it's on there, I'll tell you. Let's see if there's anything on there. They're made in Fullerton. Not far from here. I don't see any dates on any of these. I'm pretty sure that like at least they're around in 72, maybe a little earlier. This is an earlier one with the horse. Vanilla. Tapioca. And, once again, this was a product that did a lot of, just kept exploring flavors. Fish one again. Another tapioca. Another tapioca. Another tall tale. We had that one somewhere else. So maybe there is still some work for me to do. And here, see, and this is how you sort of tell. This one says new tapioca, so that makes it the older one. This one doesn't say new on it. My favorite, rice pudding, which is one of my favorite dessert choices. More rice pudding. More rice pudding. And then we have some, we'll do those later. We'll do those. Banana. This is banana. That one's brown. It's supposed to be green. Let's see what. Here's the banana with the horse. I like this one. I think the colors on this one are really pretty. Butterscotch with no Scottish people. Weird goat comic strip on the back. See this one. Let's see. We can see. Boom, a little printer's code, 1975. So that one's from 75. So maybe if I cracked all these open, we could find a few more printer's codes. Another butterscotch. Couple of lemons. Anyone collect the cans or labels of snack packs? If you could find them, I have a total of one snack pack label in my collection, only one I've ever seen. Nobody saved this kind of label for the most part. You could prove me wrong. Someone could come up and have 1,000 of them. But I think it was around 1970. Lisa H. says 1968 snack pack started. That is very early. These ones are really pretty. Oh my God, gelatin. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. And this one also is very pretty. Orange gel Hunt snack pack. I had a lot of those when I was a kid. Quick check. The trademark was filed in 1971, but they could have predated that. So trademark would not preclude 1968, which sounds accurate. Okay. Would love to find a label or a can. Well, I just showed you a label. I've got one label. Look at that, one label. But an actual can, because that was the thing. It's like, it's so one use. There's no real reason. It's one use. You send it with a kid somewhere outside of the home typically. I don't remember ever eating them at home. I remember when we had them, maybe we ate them at home, but you take them to school. And you'd eat them at noon, and then right in the trash. And then, of course, Royal has to get in on it, and they make Royal Creamerinos with the king. Someone nicely tore the king's legs off. And then another one, which is probably from a little different time. Yeah, I'd like to find one of these Creamerino labels. That'd be really, really good looking. And our last of the last things today is Ring a Bell Gel, which is made by, who's this? It's pretty interesting because it looks like Jetpack made all of these things. Michigan Fruit Canners Incorporated. Ring a Bell Gel. Oh, it's 10:59. We got there. We'd have been on another 45 minutes if we tried to do ice cream because the ice cream pile's pretty big, which is surprising because, once again, ice cream, not a thing I necessarily super hardcore collected because ice cream is another one of those things that you could collect endlessly. You know, you could collect back 100 years. Maybe you can collect ice cream for 200 years. Ugh, ice cream. But next week we're doing baking and the Pillsbury Doughboy, including cookies. And I have that one's all pulled. Ice cream's all pulled too because, you know, so I pulled 3 shows at once. Thinking it was going to be 2 shows, but it's going to be 3 shows. I know my wife's like, when are you going to finish with this? And I'm like, I think I only have 15 shows to go. And she's like, you only have 15 shows to go. I'm like, I only have about 15 shows to go, and then I'll be done. So as you have all seen, if you've been watching these, I have too much stuff. Oh, we'll do a quick ice cream show preview. So we'll look at this in a couple of weeks. Oh, there he is, Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool. I haven't found the Mr. Cool sign. Oh, I think it's in one of these bins. So next week we're doing Pillsbury Doughboy, who's like one of my favorite characters ever. One of the characters that got me collecting because the Doughboy is freaking cool. And those commercials, you know, Doughboy. God bless him. I love him. And in other quick notes, me and my buddy Tony have just started a movie watching show, which has nothing to do with food, where, although occasionally Otter Pops do show up, where we watch movies and then we make fun of and are incredibly critical and are just a couple of jerks. So I just posted the promo on the YouTube channel. It's 5 minutes long. Watch that. If you think it's funny, then watch the show when it comes on. And the shows are long. They're like an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. And we'll start posting those in about a week. But we watch, it's called Hate Watching with Dan and Tony, and we watch terrible movies and have fun with it. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up. There's also a new 3-part interview I'm doing with my buddy Todd. I think I'm on the 2nd episode. We'll post the 3rd episode next week. So go watch that if you're interested. And I'll be doing some more interviews. I have a couple more people that I'm thinking about talking to. So have a good Sunday. This was Comic-Con weekend, so a lot of people are out there missing Comic-Con. So enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, etc., you know how to reach me. I'm out there. Check me out on Instagram. All you fans are great. Thanks for coming by. Glad to be back on Sundays. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.